Oh, he's getting it now.
Hey everyone, welcome to Heavy Metal Customs. For those of y'all who've seen the last video, you know where we were. For you others, I'll catch you up. Of course, we're still working on the 62 Comet project. And when I left y'all last, we was working on the taillights. Well, we got the taillights cut. We got them just setting in there where they're supposed to be. And I myself, I really like the look. And I know y'all throw down a lot of positive comments about it. But what I would like to do is get like some type of molding or something just around them taillights. I think it would make it look a lot better and just add that final nice touch to it. So here's what I come up with. Actually, I grabbed, this is a headliner bow. And we're not going to be using them because I'm probably going to be using a solid type headliner like probably the one out of the Mustang if it fits, or if not, I'll just make my own headliner. But I'm not doing a fabric headliner with bows. So we're robbing them to make stuff, and here's what I did. Hopefully y'all can see this okay. I just made this nice trim ring just by hand bending. So once we get this in place over here, let's upside down. Anyway, she'll go just about like that, which will not look bad at all. We'll get that cleaned up, get some welds on there and get it welded in. And then we can come back with some fiberglass and just make a nice little bevel coming up to the edge. I think that'll really set that off just fine. We'll do this one right here, and I'll just show y'all how easy this was to make. Like I say, I just grab this bow right here, and let's just start over here at this end with a 90. Yeah, just using some vice grips, no big high-tech bending devices, that's for sure. Vice grips are great for doing all kinds of things. So we'll start right here with our 90. Then we know we got to go over to here. Yeah, and I eyeball stuff a lot too, y'all. Don't ask me how, but it seems to work out for me, and I get pretty lucky by doing this. Alright. The trick is going to keep all this nice and straight with each other. Okay, that's not going to be a full 90 there. Like I say, we got that taper going on right there. So, we'll hold that up here like this. And I got it just a little bit too much. Oh yeah, well that's looking pretty good. Some of this excess off so I can get it just right. On this stuff, I just use bolt cutters. They work just fine. Well, if you don't drop it, they work just fine. There we go. Now we can get our actual mark where we want to cut this thing. This thing does come, gets a bit twisted up here and there. So we're going to have to get it all level and straightened out here in just a minute. If I quit dropping stuff. I've got a case of dropsies today. That looks pretty good. Alright, as you see, it sort of got twisted a little bit there, but you can take it and move it around and do whatever you need to do with it. That's no problem. The top piece doesn't want to untwist. There we go. Remember, it's metal, so you can manipulate it any which way you need to get it done most of the time. And there you go. Now we have a really nice trim ring for that side as well. Well, what I'm going to do now, slide the headlights back out. Nothing's holding them in. They're just sitting there. Because we do need to make some brackets for them. But right now, we can get them out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and do this, grind all this down and get these things welded in. And there's what they look like welded in. You see I got a really nice lip here. Like I said, we'll come in here, of course we'll clean and grind some and do a little bit more welding. We'll come next to fiberglass and just contour that lip into that rear panel. And I think that it's going to look awesome. And also when we do our contouring, we'll have to come down in here and just very little, I mean very little bit, the fiberglass through there just to seal that up and sand it off nice and neat. But that's what we got to work with, and y'all throw down in the comments what you think. I think it's going to look pretty cool. Now what I'm doing is making me some brackets to hold these tail lights in. And here's what I come up with. I just took a piece of my metal there and bent it up. As you can see, I did put some ridges in it to give it a little bit of strength, which you won't need a ton. This will be bolted to the floor, this will be bolted to the back of the car. And let's see how this is going to work so far. Alright, the bottom hole seems to be lining up pretty good. Cram a bolt in there for a minute just to hold it. It's this top hole here that I still need to drill out. See if I can get that accomplished in here. Got that hole drilled in there. Let's see how all of this is going to line up. Get our bottom bolt dropped in. And this top one here. Yeah, I got the right nut. Excuse me. There we go, now she's wanting to hold. Maybe the short one will go down here in the bottom. let me grab a longer bolt for that bottom as well. These shorts are not going to work. Make sure I got the right thread here. Yeah, I do believe that's it. Alright, that'll hold it in place for a minute. Alright, I think that bracket's going to work pretty good. See how this is going to tighten up and do. Alright, well that's not too terrible, but I do notice it has the bottom pushed out and has the top pulled back just a little bit. So what we're going to have to do here is we can just put a little spacer where that thing bolts up. I think will work actually just fine. There's that trial and error stuff that I keep talking about. And there we go. Yeah, sticking out the same, the top and the bottom. May not look at it from that angle, but if you come to the side, you can tell it. And really all I did, this top bolt and the tail light, I put a spacer behind it, which throws the top of the tail light in a little bit. That was easy. Alright, well we got that bracket there, but we still, yeah, we need one here, even though it does seem pretty tight. And of course when we, on final assembly, when we bolt these in, then I'll make a rubber seal to go around them. Now we'll get this one made here in just a minute. I know there's some of y'all are saying, hey Paul, this is going to mess up your piece. Now I don't think it is, but let's check. I am going to weld this nut in there too, and I'll weld that nut on the bottom. So if you got that tail lights out and you just come in the trunk, zaps out, take them out. But as you can see, these are hollow, so, oh yeah, plenty of room inside of that for that nut to be there and that little bit of bolt to come through, so we're good. Besides, I think once them are on, they're going to be on. I'm really thinking bolting them on there and just filling in with fiberglass and smoothing them out. I just don't like a two-piece look, but that's for another day. Now, we got this one bolted in, and that's pretty good. It's in there straight. I can get it all crooked or stupefied. Now we just need, well, we really don't need, yeah, we need one on this side over here. And got to figure out how to do that and a place to bolt it. I don't want no bolts or screws out here that's going to be seen. Matter of fact, we're going to clean up all these holes here, get them welded up, and this panel back here will be nice and slick. No trim or nothing like that. So let me take a few minutes and figure out that, and then we'll get that bracket made, and then we can just copy what we're doing on the other side. Now for the center one here, definitely need something that's strong that will resist being pushed backwards. So we're going to have to make us like a little piece of angle iron. It's going to go in there with a flange on the bottom so we can screw through the bottom. Like I say, I don't want no holes out here. So let's head over and see what we can do with this to strengthen this piece up. Alright, well everybody knows that I am a fan of the bead roller. It is my friend. Let's see here, if we go, I'm going to guess about there. A little bit of tighten on it. There's a line straight down through there. Yeah, we'll be cutting some of this off. That's okay. Yeah, careful. Don't put your finger in there. It'll be a bad day. Alright, now if we will pretty much just make that line right there a pin mark, I'm going to guess. Y'all know me, I do everything on the fly. Let's get a hammer. And I'm just going to take my rubber mallet and this straight edge right here. Alright, that'll make us a quick and easy 90. Like I say, there's everybody. I really have to make a break, but I got to get some more metal in order to do that. Alright, so we got this here, and as you can see, this will be, rigid back and forth. I don't think we need this much out here. We'll probably cut some of this off. Now, let's go over here, and I'll show you how we're going to do the rest of it. And this should work out really well for us. What we're going to do, we need a flange at the bottom of this, so the bolt to the floorboard. So we just come in here right where we made our bend and cut up. That'd be plenty enough. And bend this to a 90. Then we'll bend this one to a 90. Alright, grab our shears here. Side cutters, or however you want to call them. Alright, let me test fit here. Alright, cut a little off the top. It's just a shade tall. Don't want nothing extruding up too far. If you're going to do work like this, get you a good pair of hand cutters. I've got several, but these green handle ones here seem to be my favorite. I don't know what brand they are. WISS, W-I-S-S. Alright, we'll have to drill a hole in the bottom of this. Alright, drill a hole here. That'll be my bolt part, bolts up to the tail light. Drill a hole in the bottom of this, and a bolt nut through the trunk. And I'm going to go ahead and go over there and try to get a couple more beads in there to strengthen this piece up. Well, I think that turned out good for you. Let me show y'all the inside here. Yeah, I got a light that actually works. Hopefully y'all can see that okay. Yeah, that all went in there just fine. Let's say to take them out, you took a bolt there, a bolt at the bottom, then one bolt up here at the top, and bam, the tail light slides right out. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is, of course, take these back out, get this all cleaned up, and get these 3 nuts welded where they need to be. Then I'll knock out the other side, and then we'll move on. I've got all my bolts, all my nuts welded on top and underneath. Got everything installed. Yeah, not looking too shabby. Of course, like I say, we're going to have to make us a seal up on final assembly. But I don't see where that's a big deal. But I'm going to move from this because we accomplished our goal here. We got tail lights. And I don't think it's going to be no big deal. Just pop them right out of them Mustang tail lights. They'll plug up to the harness. And we're ready to rock and roll. The only thing I got here, these Fox body lights only have, let's see, 1, 2, and then the backup light. This has 3 in the backup light, so I have to figure out which one's a blinker. We'll just leave one of the park and brake lights out. But still, no troubles there. All right. Well, I've been putting it off and putting it off, and I think it's time to get back to working on this interior, especially this dash. I'm not going to get under there and do the duct work right now. Just my arm's not going to let me. But I think that we can work on this instrument cluster and get us a piece made around it and get that all molded in where it looks cool, or at least that's what we're going to work on. Alright, well, where we're going to start on this, hopefully y'all can see okay. I know the light's terrible in here. But I cut me a piece 8 by 18 of cardboard. We need to get us a good template going. Well, here's our basic template. I got cut out. She'll sit in here just like this. Now there's going to be some contouring and stuff going on to get this thing to fit and actually look right. Because we're sunk in here, or we're sitting out here. So I think the smartest thing to do is make this in several strips. That way we can contour it all together. When we get it where we want it, we put some welds on the strips, grind them down. Of course, it will screw into here and probably somewhere in on each side. Because remember, we still got to come around here and get this taken care of, as well as pull our steering wheel up and have us a piece of metal that comes across here. So let's go ahead and cut our first piece. That'll be a strip here at the top, and get it situated. All right, what I've got here is just some of this basic metal like we've been using, and a Sharpie. Sharpie is our friend. Let's get, I'll leave just a little extra on that top. I think better safe than sorry on that. Where them holes, mountain holes will be. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut this little strip here out. We'll see if we can get it fitted in. Alright, get this first piece bolted up there, and I like that line there at the top. Here's my second piece I got cut out. And it fits in there pretty much like I want it to. But what I'm going to do now is take this top piece back out, weld these two together, and then put it back in there and see where we're at. I know we're going to have to do some fill work here on the sides, of course, and contour that in, and then make us a piece here that goes all the way around to center that in, which I don't think is going to be too terrible. So let me go ahead and take this off here. I found some really nice little screws with here. I'll show you here in just a second. Nice little Torx bit screws. Yeah, that will look nice in there as far as the finished product goes. And actually, I was able to get some little holders to snap over into them factory spots right there, which pretty cool. That sort of fell together for me. All right, well, let me get these welded together, and then we'll see where we're at. And here they are welded together. Let me get you on in here. Alright, so that's basically what kind of design we're going to have right here. Now, like I say, what we're going to do, we're going to have to make a piece to go from here to here, all the way around. And then on our sides, piece here that'll go in, keeping with this roundness here, and the same way over here. As far as this down here, we're not sure yet. We're going to have to bolt the steering column up there and see how much room we need. I know there wasn't a whole lot on the factory plastic piece, so we may have to come in here and really do some trimming to get that to where it'll fit that steering column piece okay, because it hits right around here, I do believe. Alright, well, so far so good. Well, here's where I'm at so far. Down here, we just totally run out of room. So what I've done is took this little steel bar here and configured it here and welded it on the inside and grounded it. That'll look really good when we're all said and done. What I want to do next, I got to get all of this perfect where I want it before I go to making my filler pieces. I think what we need to do is run across approximately right here, about halfway here, and see if we can bend this down to be straighter. As you can see, it's at an angle right now, and we need to do that on both sides. But let's unscrew it and see if we can get that a little bit conformed better and see what that looks like. Alright, got that bent there, but that looks a lot better. Yeah, I'm happier with that. I think that's going to be just about where we fit. Now, what we need to do is figure out another way to attach this, which when we get this piece of side done, we got to get this bottom here rolled under. Yeah, let's do that first. Let's go ahead and make us a piece from here to roll down under the dash. I think it'll be our next step, and then we can get the screws going up in there. That way this will be held 100% without no wiggle to it. And then we can get all of our trim pieces made and cut, because that's going to be very hard to do, I do believe. Alright, this is the left side. Cut, the little notch up there. That's where it goes under. And that's where the steering column holder is. And I went ahead and rounded that because I don't want just the dash panel to be that flat. The car's got a lot of rounded edges, especially on the gears, so we're going to round it. Now how did I do that? And we're going to round it up into the bottom of the dash. I just took the lift here to get y'all a better look. As you can see, the lift on my end, you tell everybody high, it's got a nice round lift on it. This one's not going to be that drastic. But just go through here, just a little tapping. And bam, you got a nice lift. We'll go ahead and grab this other side here, roll over this one. Didn't even beat it up too bad. There you go. Little trick there. Use what you got. Alright, let's see if these fit anything that looks like anything. Alright, got that welded all together. The bottom pieces turned out pretty good. What I did was just weld it on the back side. The way of just light grinding. Then, of course, when I come back, a little filler over this whole thing to get it straightened out and cover them up. But all in all, not bad. Well, let me take it over here to the car and see if it fits. And we got that bolted in down there at the bottom okay. That way it's held exactly where it's going to be. Now, what we need to do is do some templates. I've already got one cut here. And it is one that we'll be putting in right here. So let's transfer this to a piece of metal and get it cut out and see what she looks like. Alright, I have both outers made, Yeah, I know, weird looking, ain't it? And what I want to do is get these welded on first. That way it'll hold the shape that we cut for it. You can see there's going to be a lot of pulling on this piece. That pull it to get it bolted up. So we'll get these on there first. That way it'll be holding it 100%. Then we can bolt it back on and get our inner pieces done. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and weld this up, and I'll let y'all check it out when I get through. Alright guys, got them welded. So welded on the back side, but looks pretty good. They're welded up just fine. I didn't have really no issues with them. Little weld, little grind, and bam. Well, there's what we have so far. Now the big thing is, let's see if it'll still bolt into the car now. Well, it did fit back in there. Not 100% perfect, but it fit back in. Which is no big deal. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Because once we're through with this, making this panel here, and it's all bodywork painted, blah, 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 when we go to install it, I am going to put a rubber gasket all around here. I feel if I don't, for one, I don't want to have any rattles, and that would be a perfect rattle point. And for two, what small gaps we have where I just didn't get a perfect fit, it'll fill it right in, and it'll actually look really nice because it'll have like a black, you know, outline around it, which will just add to the aesthetics of it. Alright, now the next thing we need to do is get that inner part done where it sinks down in there. And on it, I'm not going to try to make a template or anything like that. We're just going to go right at it. I have my strip of metal here, a little piece of pipe, clamp, hopefully it holds. And I'm just going to use it to try to make some bends. And what I'm going to do is go over a piece of pipe like so. Like so. And this is going to be a lot of running back and forth and test fitting, that's for sure. And just like that, we got her bent. So now, got it fit in there pretty good. Yeah, not bad at all. We can close up the little gaps, and there we go to weld it in. But now I need to measure from here down to the plastic and get this cut out where it's going to be and get it fitted all up in there. Recheck it, check it, then recheck it again, then weld it, and I think that'll be pretty cool. Alright, now that I got my general shape out, and I know I got enough metal here, I went ahead and made a template. This goes in like this here, and that's our conduit. Yeah, I know it's really strange looking. But I figured that's the easiest way to do it. Template, it didn't make long enough to these bottoms here. But I'm going to go ahead and cut out what I do have and leave the bottom big. And then once I get it set in there, I can trim appropriately. But yeah, that's going to take a little bit of time and whatnot. Well guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. This is going to take some time. The video's done gotten pretty long, and I'm just out of time myself this week actually. But we got some cool stuff done to the car, and I'm very happy with it. I'm going to work on this probably tomorrow some, so I'll definitely get at least the finished product on video for y'all for next week's video. And I reckon it's going to be a lot of interior stuff next week is what we need to keep on and see what we can get done with that. Well, enough yapping. Guys, appreciate you watching. Hope y'all enjoyed that. If you would, throw me down some comments. If you're able, hit us up on Patreon. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. Please, throw this video out there to your friends, all the videos. and the whole channel, and we'd really like to get this channel monetized. I know I've been hounded on that, but that's just a big deal for me. The more subscribers I can get this thing monetized, and get a little money coming in, then the more stuff I can buy from the shop, the better videos I can do, and the more that we can get accomplished. Therefore, y'all get to see more, and the quality of what you see will get better and better as time progresses. But in the meantime, I know Annie, I just yappa, right? Yeah, Annie's standing like right here ready to go. Well, I'll catch y'all on the next one, and until then, I hope that everyone has a fantastic day.